Hi everyone. I got a call last night from a gentleman who was really a nice young man. He just very gently said to me, I want to sign up with your course. I mean you no disrespect, but how can a 3-day course possibly compare to maybe a 10-month course? He went on to say, I'm sitting here researching and looking at a 4-month online course right now in particular. And, my question is, how is it that I'm going to learn more in 3 days with you in your course than I would these other programs? I mean, you have to know that doesn't make a whole lot of, it doesn't add up, right? So, please help me out here. So, and I did, and I love it when I get this question. If you haven't already seen this video that I'm producing, and I get to actually answer it, right then and there, because it's just the fire that comes out of me is something I can't duplicate, not even in this video. But I rushed to do this video this morning because up until now, all I could really do was ask you to just believe it, believe me, because if it weren't the truth, people wouldn't be reflecting that, on my Facebook or on my website. I finally know how to answer that question. I don't understand why I couldn't just put it into words, but it's possible, people, because when you take that 4-week class, 6-month course, whatever it is, they, at the end of the day, from what is out there, from what y'all have told me, because you've been out there and you're the ones who come back and tell me, they lack in teaching you the information that takes you from baby coder to master coder. They teach you some good information, I'm hopeful, but oftentimes oftentimes than none, they fill most of the curriculum with fluff. It's all that fluff filler that isn't going to make you or break you as a medical coder in the industry. In other words, they devote a lot of time to knowledge that is not going to matter. Things that you could have learned or, you're going to learn on the job anyway. Your ability to master the coding guidelines is what matters. And I'm so sorry to report, but most programs apparently, from your feedback, don't teach the medical coding guidelines, which is where the money is, which is where the mastery is, because they either one, they don't understand them, maybe, I don't know. Number two, they choose to take an easier way out, there to maybe collect a paycheck. I'm hearing that a lot. Hate hearing that. Or three, they can't find anyone to teach at the necessary level, because simply put, coders earn way more money than educators do. So if an educator is smart and knows their stuff, they're not going to be teaching. You're not going to find them at a program or a course or a school, because they know that they'll make, double the money if they go and do coding and be coders in the industry. The fact of the matter is, too many programs place their focus on what you call medical terminology, anatomy and physiology, billing software, and you need to see the other videos to know my takes on those. But Medical Coding Academy, we teach what does matter. That's how you're going to learn more in 3 days than you would another program, potentially another program. What does make you or break you as a medical coder? We teach, simply put, the hard stuff, the complicated stuff. Our job as instructors at Medical Coding Academy is to break down and simplify that very complex information that you get tested on, and that absolutely makes you, is the difference from baby coder to master coder at the workplace, in the real world. And here's the thing, if all we do for 27 hours is teach you highly pertinent information, that is how you will learn more in 3 days than you would a potential other available program. If we spend 27 hours of your time on do or die knowledge, that is 27 hours of extremely sought after education. You're gonna have a monumental outcome in terms of your knowledge base. That actually reminds me of a saying or phrase, a quote. I don't know who said it, but I hear it and read it all the time. The wealthy people, they never get rich by way of knowledge. They get rich by time management. They knew how to manage their time. And that's what Medical Coding Academy has done, is we have managed your time. We have said, we've put a lot of thought process, a lot of thought through decision making well, we know that the entire 27-hour worth of education that we deliver is going to truly set the bar. So 27 hours is more than enough to have you pass the exam on your first try. It's more than enough to have you go back and actually teach your coworkers, coders that are already working in the field. And it's more than enough to get you a job, as a first-time coder in the real world. I always have people in my academy that have been coding 5, 10, 15 years, and they always say, they always ask, can I just skip the first 3 hours of your program? I'm a veteran coder. I know what I'm doing, and I really just don't need to take the basics, portion of your course. And I always respond, no. You still have to sit through the first 3 hours. Because I know from experience, it's funny, because every time they do, they always end up telling me, oh my God, Miss Ortega, I didn't know half of what you taught in the first 3 hours, and I've been coding for 15 years, So the bottom line is, you got to have yourself a teacher that's in love with medical coding, passionate about it, and I'm passionate. I'm passionate about teaching you how to get every last dollar on that claim form, and if I'm overjoyed with what I do and I put all this life into medical coding and bring medical coding to life in those 3 days, that just means I'm going to pass that on to you, all of you. And all of a sudden, I'm going to look back at y'all while I'm teaching at that board, that projector, writing on that whiteboard, and I'm going to see a bunch of huge smiling faces, huge smiles, because, and you're going to be saying, oh my gosh, I got it, Miss Ortega. I'm learning. That makes sense. And this is so awesome. So wanted to cover that. And then let's talk about finding a job. Okay, so everyone's asking, well, what if I don't find a job? What if I don't? You're gonna find a job. I was speaking with a gentleman the other night, and he took a 3-day insurance adjuster course, passed on his first try, but never ever could land a job. And here he was a year later on the phone with me and never did anything with that certification. And he said it was because everywhere that he went, everybody wanted experience. Well, let me tell you something. Unlike the insurance adjuster industry, there is a shortage, folks. There is a national crisis in the industry right now, especially with the oncoming of ICD-10. There aren't enough. And at the end, there's not enough board-certified medical coders in the industry, and this is what's working in your benefit. So, go to those search engines, go to Indeed.com, Monster.com, CareerBuilder.com, enter medical coder and enter your city, state, and you'll see tons of job listings for medical coders, and they're all going to require the CPC, COC from AAPC or CCA, CCSP or CCS from AHIMA, from AAPC, and most will say, most job listings will say 1 or 2 years experience required. What I'm about to tell you is golden. Apply anyway, because they're gonna call you anyway. That's what you don't know. So I know, because I'm well immersed in the industry and I'm the one who gets the phone calls, but I get calls from agencies daily, from company, Texas Oncology here in Dallas, Fort Worth. I just got calls from this week, Texas Oncology. I got another call from UT Southwestern. I get calls daily to send them, or emails, to send them my top coders because they're not receiving applications. They used to take, you have to understand, they used to take receptionist and have her do all the coding and they're finding out in very short order they should have never done that. They should have hired someone that was a master in their industry, because in doing that, in hiring someone that didn't have the knowledge, now they've realized 10, 15, 20 years down the road that they had left hundreds of thousands of dollars of money on the table. So employers are realizing they're in a position, well, you know what? Let's just hire this baby coder. He's never coded before, but he's at least proven, on a board exam that he's mastered the coding guidelines. So let's hire him because he is a board certified coder candidate, and we've got very few or none at all, So they think, let's just hire him. He's going to make mistakes, but we'll just teach him. We'll grow him, and he won't have any bad habits. Hey, he won't have any bad habits because he's learned none. And we'll just train him our way. We'll teach him our way. So they want you, and now all you have to do is bring it home for them at the interview, and sell yourself. In a recent rotation in Seattle that I did. He was brand new in the industry, never opened a book before, had been working at the mall. He took the course, passed on the first try, went home, sat at his computer, and he began to apply anyway, just as I asked. He said he put out like 40 applications in a 3-week span. He was worn out. He had done his part. And, at first it was crickets. No one was calling him, and no one was emailing. Finally, I think 3 or 4 weeks later, he was attending 3 to 4 interviews a day. He actually called me and asked me which one of these jobs, because he had several job offers on the table at one time, which one should he pick? So that's what I'm talking about, people. I do know, and I'm very honest, and I will say there are 2 young ladies that have come from Medical Coding Academy, one in 2012, another one in 2013, and to this day, and they passed the CPC, and to this day have never gotten a coding job in their fields. And I'm going to tell you, they struggle with interview skills. And yes, I did absolutely seek their permission to speak about this, without naming their names, of course. But I built them portfolios. I role played with them. I went all out because I just couldn't stand it. I couldn't accept that. No, you don't leave Medical Coding Academy and don't get a job. But these 2 girls did that, and they did go to medical, and they weren't getting jobs, and they weren't working in their field that they were educated in. And so, and please, I got their permission to speak about this in the video. So, something like this, like I'd say, hey, so Lisa, and Lisa's not her name, but hey, so Lisa, what can you bring to the table? What sets you aside from the other coders out there in the industry? And her answer, no matter the amount of coaching or her answer is something like, I don't know. I don't know. And they're so shy, and they're adorable, and they're cute, but the thing is, they're very introverted, and hey, nothing about the introverts, because I'm an introvert, believe it or not. But in an interview, we have to be able to check that part of our personality at the door. We live in a day and age where people have to like us. We have to check that part of our personality at the door, because they have to like us in the interview. If we don't, what we end up doing is we end up confusing our prospective employers. Our tone has to be, if it's not exactly just right, we can absolutely lead them to believe that we could care less about the interview. And that's not what we're trying to get across, at all. So I'm now actually pouring a lot of interview tips throughout my 3-day course, now more than ever, because it matters to me that you get a job in the industry after my course, and there's just, I can't deal with it if it's not that way. So I want to talk about that. Now, the last topic, how to sign up. You need to know that we allow a maximum of capacity of 15 people per session. So we say that up front because, we've from experience, we've realized that over 15, it's too much for one instructor to handle. Both Mr. Jirius and myself, we've regretted it several times when it's been more than that. So we learned the hard way. We got to keep it 15 or under, because if we don't get that one-on-one time that's really needed, in a live instruction type of course. So definitely pay your $160 deposit. Go to the website, go to the distance learning tab if you're doing the course somewhere other than Dallas, Texas, and click the city on the United States of America map that you want to go to. It'll scroll down automatically for you, and there it'll offer you 2 buttons. One button will say with books, and the other button will say without books. If you want the 3 books from Medical Coding Academy, click the with books button. And once you do that, once you pay the $160 deposit, we're going to ship you the books and the early homework that goes along with the books. The next business day. My assistant tries to get out to the post office the very next business day. And here's the thing. I hope you just caught that. So it's necessary. You need to sign up sooner than later, because what you don't realize is that there is homework that you have to do that isn't anything complex, but it's very time consuming. And so for that reason, you want to receive the 3 books and the early homework as soon as possible so that you can start the required work that needs to be done, that needs to be done before attending the 3-day course. So, call me or text me, and I will be happy to explain what that early homework entails. And know that early homework is absolutely broken down in the 3-day course, plus we teach you 200 other things. But the idea is, we can't expect you to commit absolutely everything to memory, so we have you write some things down here and there throughout your books to help you. I only get 27 hours. Mr. Jarius only gets 27 hours with you, and we can't be stopping and waiting for y'all to write things down during the course, because that'll absolutely kill us with time. So I have you all write this information, do this homework down, get the homework done before we arrive. Let's see what else. The same 3 books that you take the course with is the same 3 books that you'll take the test with. It is an open book test, this CPC course, CPC exam. Please know that you can absolutely write in your books. There is nothing the matter with that. You cannot be pasting or gluing any additional type of information or typed information into your books that didn't already come with your books, but you can write here things, jot down notes here and there. Absolutely okay by the AAPC. The remaining balance, you don't have to pay that balance until the first day of class when we arrive to your city, or when you show up to the academy here in Dallas, Texas. If you're struggling out there, some of you say, I'm going to have to really convince my husband or my wife, or, mom and dad, I got to talk to them. Get them to call me. Get them to call Mr. Jarius. We're real good about squashing those doubts, those fears, and really, some people come with just reluctancies because they've been burned a time or two, and that's to be understood. But have them call us.